All right. On today's episode, in the moment, I'll be talking more about understanding certain factors that slow down or improve the movement. So, right from where I left off on how planners are used, I mentioned the phrase, what I'm doing now and what I can do better, as a way to build a workflow you're after. In the past few episodes, I've brought up how time frame can be an issue, music playing in the background, or even allowing yourself a break after a long time pushing through rough work. And yet, you still have this urge to figure out what it is that you want to work on first or right now. Think about the planner episodes for a moment. The thought of organizing your day, planning each week before it starts, reviewing to do tasks, then consider the Kanban episode of where I first introduce and build a Kanban board. Creating multiple tasks on the backlog, moving them over to the doing section to prove what you're working on in this moment. Both objects are within sight. You have the planner and you have the Kanban board. They require you to look at them and remind you what you should be working on at the moment. So what if we created a feedback system from yesterday, which say for example Monday, and wrote about Tuesday on how we can do better? So I'll be talking more about productivity reports, creating the questions that you should ask yourself, why writing is a good way to explore different outlets and understanding yourself. All right, let's begin. Today's episode is something that I've always talked about on and on and on, and I always see it happening in the productive lifestyle that I create each and every single day. So, what about these productivity reports? I've never worked on them before. But you know what? Come to think of it, using one of the planners that I've used in the past, the Panda Productivity Planner, that had provided me the feedback that I should implement in my life. And you know what? Why don't I start writing about my days in this sense? I already have the reflections, but what I'd like to add on here is possibly maybe an evening report. Say, how did your day go? Did you get the task done? Like, I am asking myself questions here. I'm not reflecting on what I believe is the topic of the day that I should start talking about. No. I want to change productivity to a different level. I see this as a way where I can improve on myself in the sense of talking more about the tasks that I'm doing. I have more time, more space to work on these reports on my computer. It's easy enough to type it on Word doc, or maybe it could be Emacs, it could be whatever that has word processing software. All you have to do is just start typing. You start typing and you start talking about, well, I could have done this better. I could have done that better. The whole point of having these productivity episodes is to learn and adapt. And I believe that this is helpful for me, for which it could be helpful for you. And in the forum Find the Geeks, as I add more episodes and more topics, I begin to find more things. I begin to find more topics, more questions to bring up into discussion. And so these productivity reports, I believe, if not only that I can do it, if a community can do it, definitely you'll be able to see so much more improvement. And possibly there might be some things that we're not too sure on how to share, these faults that some of us have, and that may happen at certain times. But when you bring this over to a productivity partner, you feel that now this is the time where I got to make some fixes, make some changes here. And so writing the questions that you should ask yourself can be brought up on possibly a printing out this piece of paper and writing on it by hand, or simply typing it on the computer. Make it a habit in asking yourself these questions. Much like the reflections that I've made every morning, I've actually decided to work on my copywriting skills in using reflections, and I could also do the same for coding challenges as well. So at this time, for writing productivity reports, creating questions that you should ask yourself, and why writing is a good way to explore different outlets and understanding yourself, all of this is summarizes down to learning how to adapt. And once we get down to the later episodes, possibly on the 7th or maybe even the 100th episode of Find the Geeks, I'm willing to dig even deeper for productivity. And I would love to hear some of your feedback as you join findthegeeks.com. Until next time, I would like to share some experiences, either share some experiences around the productivity reports that I've written up for myself within this week. And it is Wednesday, and I am supposed to do my weekly series. So maybe tomorrow will be the weekly series day that I will talk more about. Until next time.